Hey guys, my name is Danielle and I'm a future PA student that's going to be starting my PA program at the end of May. So just about like a month and a half more to go. I thought I would make a little bit about me post just to kind of go over, a little bit about myself, my CASPA stats, and just to go on from there. So yeah, I'm 23, I live in Baltimore City. So when I start my PA program at the end of May, I'll just be commuting from my apartment here in the city to Towson because it's only like 25 minute commute, so not too bad. I'm really excited, but I'm also like super nervous. So if anybody has any tips on how to like just relax and take it easy before PA school begins, let me know. Drop it down in the comments below. I'm pretty much one of those people that just like needs to stay super busy at like all moments in time to feel like I'm being productive. So when I take off next month, it's gonna probably be like a little bit of a struggle, but I think I'll get through it. So with that being super busy, I work currently as a pediatric medical assistant in Towson full time. So I'll be leaving that practice in about like 2 to 3 weeks, which I'm pretty sad about. I learned a lot this past year working with the two physicians and nurse practitioner there. They are amazing. They taught me so much, and I'm really excited to do my pediatrics rotation when I start my clinicals. So yeah, a little bit about that. So going forward, I grew up in Maryland and I did my undergrad at University of South Carolina for the 4 years. I studied exercise science there. For the first 2 years I was biomedical engineering, but I figured that wasn't really the right major for me, and I decided I wanted to pursue the PA path like halfway through college. And that's when I did my major switch, and that's when I started gathering all my hours, my volunteer experience. I started like being a part more of clubs, my pre-PA professional organization, and everything like that. Everything that I needed to kind of start my application process and get everything that I needed to apply. So at the end of my junior year, when COVID hit, I was working as a medical assistant at a cardiology practice here in Maryland because we had to go home because nobody stayed on campus when COVID hit. So I worked at that cardiology practice as a medical assistant for like 8 months, and then when I went to school again the second semester of my senior year, I worked in a women's health clinic as a medical assistant with another physician in Columbia. And at that time, that was January of 2021. So at that time, I begun my CASPA application, which is so like nerve-wracking. And if people are going through that right now, it's okay. It seems like a whole lot of things to dive into, but I think what really helped me get through that was starting it early. So I started it in January. I started my like background information, filling all that stuff out, and I made a separate Google Drive folder for my experiences, my personal statement, all of my hours. I kept a spreadsheet just to keep me organized because that really helped me stay on top of everything. So through the months, January, February, March, April, I really like started to add more to my experiences. I edited my personal statement like so many times. There's so many different rough drafts of that thing. But yeah, I continued to work through that all those months. And meanwhile, when I was doing that, I was still a full-time student. I was still working part-time as a medical assistant, and I was still volunteering at medical nonprofits like throughout that time too. So it was definitely a busy schedule the last semester of my senior year, but we got through it and it was all good. I graduated that May, which was a year ago almost, which is pretty crazy to think about. This year like flew by. But yeah, so I applied to 8 schools right after my graduation. So like 2 weeks after I graduated in May, I submitted all my applications at that time because I had worked through them, or not through my applications, but like I had worked through my entire like CASPA application through those months. So when CASPA opened at the end of April, it was just me like navigating through the programs in the school and the CASPA website and just kind of seeing if I need to do any more like supplemental work or anything like that. So I ended up applying to 8 schools, and I got into 2 schools. I got accepted to 2 schools, and I got waitlisted to 1. So as far as my CASPA stats go, I had a 3.42 science GPA and a 3.46 overall GPA. 1,425 patient care hours at the time of submission. I gained more afterwards, but you can't go back and add it. I mean, you can, but it's not part of the same experience. They won't accept it, and some schools won't accept it. So you can always email them, but mine wouldn't let me. So I was at 1,425 when I submitted. I had about 570 hours of leadership experience, around 600 volunteer hours, 60 shadowing hours, a 302 GRE score with a 4.0 analytic writing score. And I'm trying to think of anything else that was on those stats. No, I think that might have been it. So if you're sitting here thinking like, hey, like that GPA was a little bit lower than the average, or, you know, that PCE hours were pretty low too, you'd be right. I was kind of on the lower end of the average applicant, and I explained the reasons why in my personal statement. The reason why I edited my personal statement like over 30 times was because I wanted it to be so strong, and I wanted to really highlight like my skills and like my passions and my reasons for wanting to pursue the PA career, and some of the mistakes I made along the way that kind of hindered my GPA and like hindered my hours. Like I said earlier in the video, I decided I wanted to become a PA 2 years into college. So I was a little bit behind because I wanted to apply as soon as I graduated. I didn't want to take an extra gap year and then apply at the end of that. Like I wanted to apply as soon as I graduated. So I knew that I was gonna have to work my ass off and work really hard. And I knew, looking at the programs on my PA box and my PA platform, I knew that I met the requirements for a lot of different schools, like the minimum requirements. So I was like, why not apply? Like, why not? You should. If you meet the minimum requirements and you really want to go to PA school, like you're ready to go, apply. Take that risk. I mean, if you don't get in, reapply. And I have that mindset. If I don't get in, I'll continue to work as a medical assistant and I'll apply again. But I think it was my personal statement that really stood out. And when I got my interviews, I was myself, and I, again, just expressed why I wanted to become a PA. I was really passionate, and I was really vocal about it, and, you know, I was completely myself, and I really connected with the people that were interviewing with me. So I think that really helped my application and my process. And like I said, I can't believe I'm going to be starting PA school in 2 months, but it's really exciting. And the reason why I have this account and I'm making these videos is because I think that I struggled a little bit throughout the process in the beginning, and I wish I would have had kind of like a pre-PA mentor or like more information when I was starting out. So I hope that I can be that pre-PA mentor for other people that are starting out, or just, you know, another peer or another pre-PA student. I mean, it's a community. I hope to help those, and I hope to connect with others that like have the same interests as me. So in more videos, I'll be going over, well, in the next video, I'll be going over some of the pre-PA mistakes that I made that kind of hindered my application, but I'll also be highlighting a little bit of my strengths that I think helped my application. And I'll be going over that and explaining all that in the next video. So thanks for listening to this one. I hope you enjoyed this. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments below. If you liked it, like it. If you share it, share it. But yeah, I can't wait to keep on posting more videos and to keep on following along with you guys and for you to follow along with me. So yeah, have a good day.